Diamonds, they're always nice for the holidays, but your hometown jewelry store has nothing on a mom and pop shop in Washington that opens its doors to power players past and present. Julianna Goldman is at the Tiny Jewel Box. Julianna, good morning.
Good morning. This is Tiny Jewel Box. Once upon a time, it was known for vintage jewels, but now with diamonds like this 8-carat stunner, it's become a go-to for Washington's movers and shakers.
Glittering diamonds, sparkling emeralds, and endless strands of pearls. With a name like the Tiny Jewel Box, this store has all the trappings of a local jeweler. But in the heart of the nation's capital, Jim and Matthew Rosenheim cater to uniquely powerful clientele.
We're 85 years old now. I mean, I don't want to be pretentious about it, but we're kind of an institution within Washington.
They started, well, tiny, at the height of the Depression. In 1930, Roz and Monty Rosenheim opened this 100-square-foot store with one grounding principle.
My dad said something to me that has been the driving force. He said, I want people to come to me because I have something special, not because I'm convenient.
But he credits his mother with the store's staying power.
The reason Tiny Jewel Box exists is because of my mother.
Over 8 decades, Roz tended to American royalty, from President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and First Lady Mamie Eisenhower to the Kennedys, Barbra Streisand, and Sammy Davis Jr.
She was this really beautiful, really vivacious woman. I don't know if chutzpah? My mother owned that word. She had the nerve to say anything to anybody.
Like the time Senator Joseph McCarthy, in the midst of his communist witch hunt, walked through her door. Mrs. Rosenheim directed some salty language his way, but the former senator still walked out with a pin for his mother.
I think that really epitomized her nerve, her willingness to engage people.
And that spunk helped the tiny store leave an outsized imprint on American history. A friendship forged with a young Madeleine Albright.
I, Madeleine Albright,
had world leaders taking diplomatic clues from some of Rosenheim's vintage pins.
When people would say, "What are you doing today?" I'd say, "Read my pins."
In an interview with Sunday Morning, she said it all started when Saddam Hussein called her an unparalleled serpent.
And then she wore the serpent pin, which she purchased from us. She realized she could make a statement using her pins.
Albright's trademark pins aren't the only diplomatic treasures. This vintage brooch was given to Queen Elizabeth by the Obamas. And these watches with the official presidential seal were given to African leaders gathering in Washington. President George W. Bush gave these custom boxes to nearly every dignitary who visited during his 8 years in the White House.
How long does it take to put something like this together?
For the President of the United States, very little time.
When 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue calls.
We jump.
Yeah.
We heed the call.
Anita McBride made those calls as former First Lady Laura Bush's chief of staff.
Laura Bush went to 77 countries, so I'm quite sure that something that we got from here, something beautiful and something unique, whether small to large, is present in all of those countries.
Laura Bush liked the store so much that her successor took notice.
She walks around behind the limousine carrying my box. I'm dying, just absolutely going crazy.
On Inauguration Day in 2009, Jim Rosenheim witnessed a giving of gifts he would never forget.
We have incoming president's wife giving, our gift in our box publicly on the steps of the White House with the American flag and the Marine standing there.
It was a leather-bound journal, but for this local jeweler, it represented much more.
Thinking about where we came from, how hard my parents worked, and we're now a little tiny bit of history. How can you fathom that?
The Rosenheims say business has continued with the Obamas, but they can't say much more because, like any good jeweler, discretion is key. And Gail, on that note, wouldn't it be nice if I could just walk out and discreetly forget to give back what's on my hand?
Yes, if you want to be shot.
Right, exactly. Here, take it.
I would not advise that, Juliana. You're an honest person. I see what Mr. Rosenheim is so touched. Thank you.